I'm sorry for this angle. I hope I'm far enough away. And my fans blaring in the back, but this is the only quiet place I could really think of for right now. But I chose topic 2, and it's the one about determinism. And everything is determined by casual law, including what we think and feel and do. So, all our actions. And every action has a consequence to it. And your choices come from your desires, and your desires come from what you've grown up, like, being around, and your personality and experiences and more. So, like, the universe, like, if our brains, they just follow, like, a law, and in theory there's only one thing that could happen at any given moment, including whatever decisions you're about to make, and that is pretty much determinism. People think that humans might be determined because a lot of philosophers and scientists think that it applies to us too, which you tend to usually believe the people that you think are, like, smarter and higher up than you. So our brains are made of physical things like everything else in the world, but it always follows, like, a cause and effect. Like, you do something, there will be an outcome. And scientists say a lot of things we do, like, we didn't choose, like our genes and how we grew up, and you can't really, like, choose how that goes, but that's what it comes from. And scientists think that how people act, which makes it seem like our choices might just be the results of everything that's already happened to us instead of totally free decisions, which we can't completely control any of that. Dolbach is the man who really pushed the idea, and he was a very, like, hardcore determinist, and he said that humans are just part of nature, completely ruled by physical laws. And when we think of, like, freely making a choice, Dolbach says that what's really happening is just a battle between motives. And if you're debating whether to, like, study and stay in and get your schoolwork done, which you may not want to do, or go out and party and have fun with your friends, which you do want to do, like, that's your motive, is which one you choose. And it's just, I don't really know how to, like, say this. Like, you're fighting what you want versus what you need to do, and whatever is stronger wins. And he says we feel free because we're aware of our desires, but we're not aware of the causes that produce them. So for Dolbach, free will is basically an illusion. Now, Stace tried to save free will with compatibilism, where you can have free will and determinism, and it can both be true. And he says that I act freely, and if only the way I act is the result of my choice. And the immediate cause of my choices are internal to me. And the common acts considered free are ordinary, deliberate actions. And so, like, say you're, like, at home, you choose to stay home, and that's a free choice. But if someone locks you in the house, like, and you can't get out, that's not. So pretty much what matters isn't whether your action is cause, it's where the cause comes from. Now, Frankfurt agreed that determinism doesn't always, like, destroy freedom, but he, like, added more to that. And he said that freedom comes when your first order desires, and a desire to act is a line up with your second order desires, which are the things that you want to want. And, like, for an example, like, if you want to stop smoking and you actually want to for your health, which a lot of people do, that's, like, you're free to do that. But if you smoke even though you wish that you didn't, that's not really freedom, because you say it but you don't do it. And so for Frankfurt, like, freedom is about your actions matching the kind of, like, outcomes that you have and the person that you want to be. Okay, back to Stace. Like, his ideas are appealing, but there are a lot of, like, arguments with his, which I think that, like, it's kind of like a surface level saying that you're free because you act on your own desires doesn't answer the like deeper question, like where did the desires come from? And second, there's manipulation. And if like say someone like brainwashes you into wanting something, he would still call your action free, even though like you're not right in the head. And that doesn't really feel like real freedom. And third, all of our actions are determined by causes we didn't choose. Like, it's hard to see how we can truly be responsible for what we do, because you can't always think like, you aren't always thinking the right thing, even though you think you are. So your outcome will not always be what it really should be. So determinism pretty much says everything about the causes and effects. And Dolbach thought that the means were never really free, and we just follow the strongest motive. And Stace argued that we are free when our actions come from internal causes instead of external ones. And Frankfurt said, freedom goes deeper, but it's when our actions reflect. That literally just scared the crap out of me. I'm sorry. It's when our actions reflect on higher level values. But he still struggled to explain like his thoughts, because we can be truly free if our internal causes are determined by things outside of our control. And in the end, the question is whether we're free or determined is still one of the like biggest debates possible, because all of that pretty much, and there isn't really a simple answer for that.